Now let's talk about these tier sets. So last week we saw complete models for the upcoming Mythic tier sets, and now we can take a look at some of the colorations. Now each of these renders has glowing effects shown, and this is likely the case where they'll only be present on the Mythic and Elite PvP versions. So what Dakor has said here, and I agree, is please put the additional glow effects on all versions of the tier this time, especially because there's a cosmic effect one on the in-game store. I think, if you don't, you've truly failed your duty to your players. I agree, because, and I don't think it's going to happen, actually.
No.
These look shit on the 9.2 developer preview.
Yeah, terrible.
Which, you know what, I should get that up. So, bring me to YouTube, bring me to 9.2 developer preview. Developer update, right. Funny enough, I think I was near enough the... Hello, Steve.
How's it going, big man?
Give me tier. Give me tier now. There we go. It's like, it's pretty good. Look, it's not tier, but it's pretty good leveling gear as well. And by the way, man, dislikes came back on my YouTube for some reason. Ouch. Yep. So, here's the deal with these. Where's the concept art? Hello. It is Mr. Water.
Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Water. Agua.
I'm only joking, by the way. I think the water effect, I get it, right? We can all water walk, but I think the way that there's like a little, primordial universe under the water, I think that's really cool. So yeah, just I'm only joshing you.
Didn't communicate it right enough.
This looks fucking cool, doesn't it? Like the concept art, absolutely awesome. Now there's many cases where, oh man, it did not translate. But let's try to do a little comparison here. Because I think, like, even a part of those dislikes could be the tier gear. Because, I mean, it's tier gear, man. It's the stuff we want.
Also, the way they showed it against the backdrop is not good.
So, let me...
Also, actually, can you go back to that tab for 1 second?
Yeah,
This is so rude. But look at the autoplay. Look at what the autoplay is suggesting.
And Walker?
That's brutal.
Is it? Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, even Big Susan's even she's turning against you.
Man,
right.
that's bad.
I mean, I would just say, Blizz, maybe the male Pandarin's not going to be the most representative showcase of your armor for all of the sort of body types in the game. So right, here's this. Do we have Rogue here? We do. Now, I'll say, that's a really cool face. Really cool face. But like if you look at that's not Rogue. That's DK, isn't it? What one is that? That's DK.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have DK here.
That's a Death Connect.
Boo. Because I want to do this for the comparison. Which one are you? Mage?
Mage or priest?
Is it Warlock? Is it Priest?
Sure that's Mage.
Who knows? Do we have Mage? We don't have Mage. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, no, it might be Priest because I remember people got the two mixed up.
Now,
but there's Rogue.
This is the one that I thought was the coolest anyway.
Yeah.
But like when you start to see it with like some of the glows and stuff, like especially the glow on the shoulders, it really does make it seem like cooler. And there's like a little bit of a glow there.
I think I was mostly coming from the face. Just
is that the face? Okay.
Out, yeah.
Which one's that?
That's the Warlock, right?
And do we have Warlock?
No,
we do not. Basically, right? You guys get it. Whenever we look through these, the first time, they weren't showing off the full effects for the bits of tier gear. Is that it for the tier gear?
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, they kind of didn't put their best foot forward. Suffice to say that. They didn't put their best foot forward. Some of them was just like, well, that's a weird character to show off this class's armor on. There was like a little bit of that going on. Yeah. The things that we saw did not look as good as the concept art. And that was basically the sort of situation with this stuff. What one's that?
What
one's that? Looks whack.
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, look at all these proportions. All over the place. Madness.
Is that monk, but really weirdly colored?
Maybe. It's bloody hard to tell with some of these.
I'm looking at the neck thing. It looks like a shitty monk, but
like, here's the thing. When you actually look at all of these colors.
Space Judge. Yeah.
Like, I think this looks so cool. I think this looks so cool. I think this looks so cool. That also pretty cool. Not as cool. Colors, this one's a bit weaker. But broadly speaking, I think it's a really cool set. But when you take away the cool, sort of the mythic-y feeling bells and whistles, it doesn't really work as well.
Yeah, it's. I guess the big question there is like, why are you holding this stuff back for Mythic players only? Obviously, we know the answer, but is it worth it holding it back for Mythic players? Would you be better placed putting this on Heroic? Would you be better placed putting this on normal?
I would say, at the very least, having the full Mythic model and effects on Heroic, but with the distinct and badass looking Mythic tint.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it because
Probably.
With the base way of playing World of Warcraft and the basic organizational structure of World of Warcraft, Heroic is the top end. If you want to do Mythic, then you need to create a stable 20-person roster, which means more than 20 people. There's a big organizational overhead and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that, for most people, it's like, even if our guild wanted to do Mythic, there's no way we want to expand that player count. I would enjoy doing Mythic, having Bant the way, Bant's the way that we do with our current team, but I wouldn't want to expand that team. Yeah. I think that actually gets onto some of the things that Max talked about, that we talked about in the stream last time, where he was saying if he was consulting on a new MMO being made that wanted a super hard raid mode, that he would actually say like 8 players, 10 players is a better place to go than 20. And I might even have a different opinion on this if WoW was like a 10-player heroic, or sorry, a 10-player mythic. But because it's 20-player mythic, that's like a bit harder to do. I mean, ultimately, as somebody just said, I'd rather die gear. Totally. Yeah, I just think that holding back the really cool bit of the armor that's like really exciting to get to Mythic, like I can get how it's there as like a big prestige reward, but maybe give the Mythic people something else and make this be there for Heroic. And I know it's going to sound very self-serving, but I feel like it would be... he said less than 20, yeah. I feel like it would just be probably better for more of the player base.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a bit out there, but imagine, you can't really just say, imagine Diable Gear, because that's a pretty long scale goal, I imagine, but kind of imagine Diable Gear or, decent sets. Heroic gives you the nicest looking set, Mythic gives you like a better version of it or something like that. But then you have, obviously this is literally purely inspired by FF14's relics, but imagine Mythic weapon drops were absolutely standout. They were absolutely 10 out of 10. You see someone, you go, oh, I know you've killed the end boss.
Like Bulwark of Azeroth.
Stuff like that.
Whoa, look at that guy.
Yeah, unique model, top of the line, like visual effects, incredible stuff. Then what you do is you make a version of that for Heroic gear. The color matches the Heroic gear of that class, of that tier set, whatever else. And that's put behind, instead of Heroic difficulty, that's put behind a cosmetic grind, like the relics are.
Fair enough.
So you've got Mythic players who can get this big badass weapon through being good as shit. But if you want a similar version, then you have to put in a lot of effort. The kind of skill versus time kind of dichotomy, which is obviously directly inspired by Ultimates versus Relics in FF. But I mean,
fair play.
That's a good idea. I think they could implement that fairly well. Hopefully they actually maybe thinking something in terms of that for what they're talking about with the weapons looking really cool and not been tied to player power. I hope that's maybe what they're thinking.
Yeah. Plus, like, Mythic players do get them out as well.
Yeah.
So there's stuff there. All right. Now, keeping it going with cool gear, I actually love the broker sets. I think they look really cool. So yeah, I mean, everyone's like, hey, look, it's Stephen Strange. I guess it is. I just think they're nice. I really like them. I don't know. I like robes and, scarves and, all that jazz. Like, there's the leather one. Little bit funky in terms of the head, but I think those are actually like pretty cool little, pieces for the MOG system to have. Sadly, we don't have plate and mail yet, but I really do like these and I like the broker aesthetic. So like, that's all pretty great stuff, actually. Great stuff. There you go. That's actually it for the visuals.